I was wrong about Caspa. I was wrong about $5, $10 price predictions, passing up Solana this cycle. But what I was not wrong about was that being a goal. The only thing I was wrong about was the timeline. Let's all be honest. This cycle hasn't played out exactly how we thought it would, but we are on 1 week away from the largest upgrade ever happening to Caspa. So in this video, I wanted to tell exactly what I think has to happen for Caspa to become the best blockchain of all time. They've already made the perfect money, but now it's time to make the perfect cryptocurrency ecosystem, guys. It's going to be a great video. We're going to get into everything Caspa and more. If you like this kind of content, make sure you like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below on your Caspa price prediction for this cycle. I love you all. This is never financial advice. There was this thing right here saying that 30 to 50 cents this June and then $5 by the end of the year. And somebody was like, hey, is that really possible? And he was like, yeah, if there's a blow off top for BTC. Well, I don't even think it's possible if BTC was to hit $200,000. And it's not that I'm being bearish. I am not bearish on Caspa, and I did tell all of this right here on what we need for it. But the summary is, and we're going to get into everything that I believe Caspa has to do in order for Caspa to pass up Solana, pass up Ethereum. But like I said, Caspa I have the most faith in long term, and I'm just viewing this unbiased, okay? It's the most solid foundation in all of crypto, but that is what it is. It is a foundation. We do not have smart contracts yet. We do not have an actual decentralized exchange, but that is all coming very, very soon, and I could see Caspa having its own run in the bear market, but 2025, when we're sitting here almost at the beginning of May, I don't see it. Right here, all of this is true. This is why I fell in love with Caspa, and that is why everyone else is going to fall in love with Caspa. But the fact of the matter is, everyone has to know what it is, and there's a few things that we have to have happen for this price to absolutely explode. If we just do a review over the chart, $2.5 billion. It shrinks Caspa at 39th in overall market cap, guys. To go from 10 cents to 20 cents, that market cap has to go from 2.5 billion to 5 billion. That's a lot of money, okay? That's not moving a little meme coin. So whenever we think about 10, 20, 30, 80x like it's nothing, no, guys. That is a lot of money. And even though this is about to be the norm, Caspa is not going to be the fastest proof of work blockchain only. It's going to be the fastest blockchain in the world with 10 blocks per second. But how do we get those blocks full? That is what matters. If you have a whole bunch of empty taxis, but no one's taking the taxi, what is that going to get to? And guys, before we get into that, I do want to say over on BaconX, I can trade cash. I trade all kinds of things on futures, or you can use leverage. Don't have to use leverage. They also have spot, and they're currently working with me to give a 20% bonus. As you can see, deposit 200, get 40 USDT, deposit 2,000, get 400 USDT. If you're interested in a new exchange, no KYC, there will be a promotional link down in the pinned comment down below. But the number one thing that I think Caspa has going for it is the supply shock it is going to create whenever people actually realize what it is. We are in this realm right here, this flat realm. So the last Caspa is going to be mined in 2037, and that means that the bulk of the miners that secure the overall network, they're going to get their money from fees on the system. So how do we get fees on the system? We have to have increased transactions, and we have to have demand for other layer 2s essentially. So this could be meme coins, this could be decentralized applications, whether it's decentralized exchanges or if this is AI, anything like that, okay? All of that goes into a complete ecosystem, because whenever we look at Caspa right now, a lot of y'all have been on things like Ethereum. It used to be proof of work, now it's proof of stake. You've been on things like Sui, Solana. You go to an exchange or decentralized exchange, you swap directly in a wallet, all that smart contracts. Caspa currently does not have the ability to do that, and that is why it is not getting the mass adoption, but it is coming very, very soon. And don't look at that as a bad thing. Look at it as that is how early we are to Caspa. So the Caspa ecosystem knows that in order to keep the network alive, we have to have miners. And in order to pay the miners, whenever this is very flat and the price of Caspa is not $4, $5, $10, $15, we have to have applications built on it. Like we see here, some of these KRC20 coins, they have NFTs over here. And this is Caspa.com, a good marketplace that we'll get into in a little bit. But The main thing that we need over on Caspa, in my opinion, is liquidity. And what's the best way to get liquidity? Stablecoins. You can see Tether right here, 150 billion market cap approximately. That's about 70 times the size of Caspa right now. We also need USDC, a growing stablecoin. What I personally use 99% of the time is a $60 billion market cap. So this is 200 billion in liquidity. If Caspa can just shave off 10% of that, that is a lot of money. That's 20 billion or 10 times the current size of Caspa, total value locked within the ecosystem. And I think it'll be a lot more than that. When people are looking at moving their money and they say, okay, this is the cheapest way, this is the most secure way, Caspa truly is the best form of money. But now we've got to make it into the best complete crypto ecosystem, and that is where the work comes. The next thing that we need, as good as Kaspa.com is and as good as all these other swaps that they've tried to make, it is not a smart contract decentralized exchange. That's what we need. Someone needs to be able to open up their phone, swap directly from a wallet, because the number one question I get under all my videos, you guys are in the Caspa ecosystem, you guys are in the KRC20 ecosystem, but the majority of people have no idea how to get a KRC20 project. That is why I think there's crazy market caps on these. When you just look at the number one meme coin on this chain, a chain that is ranked 40th in overall market cap. The number one meme coin is only at 12 million, guys. Go look at Barachain, what their number one meme coin is, okay? It's like approaching 50, 80, 100 million. Guys, we are so early, and it is only because people do not know how to buy it. And the next thing that we need is, although we have builders building projects like meme coins, we need developers. We need people making actual dApps, things that people can use that make your life easier, your on-chain life easier. So we need developers to come on chain. And you could see this was in January, but you could see all the active devs on these chains and all the total commits coming to these chains. And that's exactly what we need for Caspa. We need Caspa to have builders building. Artificial intelligence need to be here. We should tokenize the entire world. Real estate, your social security number, your grandma's birth certificate, everything on chain on Caspa. That is the future that I see for Caspa. And so all of this is great, but we only have Bybit and Kraken as the big T1 exchanges. And so something else is going to be the Binance and the Coinbase. But at the end of the day, everyone over on Twitter is looking at that as the end-all be-all, but it's not, guys. It is not the end-all be-all for it. You know, like a lot of these people are saying, I'm looking at these comments under my post. Some people are thinking a 55-cent Caspa might be the top, but I think we could personally get to $1 to $2 if it's the perfect scenario. But guys, the truth is, my scenario of a $5 to $7, $10 Caspa was wrong. It was wrong to think that that would happen this cycle, because the cycle has not played out like any of us thought it would. But the fact of the matter is, my conviction in Caspa has not changed. And my long-term outlook on Caspa passing up Solana, hitting 100 billion market cap, and being a $5 to $10 to $20 token is not gone. But it probably won't happen by the end of 2025. But let me know, what is your price prediction for Caspa, guys? I want to know. Watch this video up above. And if you're not a part of the Freeman of Finance family, what are we doing? Subscribe. I love you all.